Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening,
Wah,
ladies and gentlemen. The Excellency Dr. Safrijal is the lecturer on seminar language English teaching and my friends whom I respect. My name is Ramatia by the student ID 22232-2096, and in this beautiful day, I would like to present the result of my mini research under the title Teaching Creativity Effects on Increasing Students' Interest in Learning English by case study at SMPN 1 Kota Serang. Next. There is a background of the study. According to HAMI 2013, Indonesia continuously will be an important marketplace for English language. It has a strong place in the Association of Southeast Asian Nation or ASEAN Society. And Indonesia has the potential of the world to include political, cultural, economic, and ideological aspects. And the last, the Indonesian students must be mastered English to realize the potential that Indonesia has. And the next, in the reality, Indonesian students think that English is difficult and confusing, and causing them to dislike English. There was a research under the title Masalah yang dihadapi pelajar bahasa Inggris dalam memahami pelajaran bahasa Inggris by Gunawan in 2022 shows that as many as to 77% that they say that English is difficult and confusing. And as many 15% of the respondents stated that they didn't like English. The students' thoughts inflict their less interest in learning English, which influence a decrease in their understanding of the purpose of the study in my mini research. There are four. The first is students' reason why they can be interested in learning English after studying English with creative teaching. And the next, the interest of students in studying English can be influenced by teacher who employs creativity in the classroom. The next is creative learning helps students have a better understanding of learning English. And the next, kinds and example of creative learning that teacher use in teaching English. There are several literature reviews that I use. The first there is teaching creativity. It's being open to new experience and understanding students' need, be attentive, tolerant, and creative, also inquisitive. In this teaching creativity, it is an ability that teacher must have from their study in the university. And then the next is student interest. It is feeling participate the lesson connects with daily life and study an entertaining way. It related to the student's perspective. And then the next is the effect concept in learning English. It is a natural environment, social interaction, stable at the cognitive process, and learning is halted. And then the next is students' understandings. It related about the students' process and comprehend what they do and they study. And then the next is conceptual framework that I use here. There is first is students less interested in learning English because they perspective that English is difficult to master. And then the next is teacher creativity in teaching can influence student interest in learning English, so they have a better understanding and better perception in learning English. The next there is a methodology. The methodology that I use is descriptive qualitative research by the methodology in questionnaires and written interview by the data collection using the respondent in Pasien grade of SMPN 1 Kota Serang. There are 30 students that have participated in my mini research. And then the next is I shared a form of a questionnaire with and written interview. And then the last is collecting the data. And for the data analysis, I using the scoring and the Likert scale in the percentage result for the data questionnaire. And then the next I categorizing and concluding were used for the written interview data to measure the validity of the response answer. Here is my findings of my questionnaire result. We can see here there are 27 students that strongly agree by the statement teaching creativity can affect students' interest in learning the English language. They strongly agree because they think and they feel using teaching media and another creativity way in teaching English can encourage their interest in learning English, and the three of them choose agree by this statement. The next, there is 15 students choose strongly agree by the statement. Creative teaching of the English language increases their interest in learning. Uh, 12 of them choose agree in this statement, and 3 of them choose disagree of this statement. The next, the last statement, there are 18 students choose. Students had a better understanding of learning English after being taught in the creative learning. 6 of them choose agree, and then 3 choose undecided, and the last of 3 choose disagree. And then this is the finding of my interview results. The first statement, most of them or most of the students generally say that they feel happy and boost their energy in learning English if the teacher using creative way, because learning English is sometimes boring, but when a teacher was teaching in creatively, it helps them to wake up their attention and increase students' interest in learning English. The second is the students think that creative way of teaching English can help them in have a better comprehension of learning English. It stimulates them in focusing their critical thinking. And then the third is students that a teacher who uses creative teaching has already used the knowledge that she or he got from university. Also, they also use their competencies effectively and also mix them with technology. And then the last, there is a brainstorming, movement activities, and teaching media that are most memorizing for the student when the teacher use creative ways in teaching English. And here is my discussion. When the teacher is doing creative teaching, it will influence student interest in learning English. And then it will cause a student understanding in English. The three activities that really influence students are brainstorming, teaching media, and movement activities. A teaching media is a method of transmitting learning message to the students that can help teachers increase the learning outcomes of their students. It controls students' attention and motivate them. The teaching media that teacher can do is using audio, video, and then some of realia or the picture. And then the next there is brainstorming. It is an activity in which a group seeks to solve a specific problem by collecting all of the ideas that its students spontaneously provide. It stimulates students' focus and critical thinking. And then the next is movement activities. This can do by indoor or outside activities depend on the environment and the type of activities that the students are going to do. It creates a comfortable and enjoyable atmosphere. And here is the last, my conclusion of my mini research. The first teacher teaching creativity refers to a teacher's capacity to continuously develop material or subject matter to create a purposeful or stimulating environment and to adjust the lesson. The second, creative learning can influence students' interest in learning English and cause them to get better at understanding English. And then the last is due to the findings, brainstorming, teaching media, and movement activities can be done for teachers in creative teaching because it motivates them in learning English. It one creates comfortable learning and increase their critical thinking. Thank you. That's all of my presentation.